Hey, I never really did an actual introduction on this little channel here, even though I've had it for years. So I thought I should probably do that. Why not? It'll give me something to talk about during this time lapse, which this is just a little gouache and watercolor time lapse. And yeah, enjoy that. So here we go. I didn't really prepare anything, so hopefully I don't stumble too much. But so my name is Marcia Furman, and a lot of people mispronounce my name because it's spelled Marcia, and they'll say Marcia, Marcia, but it's actually pronounced Marcia, like the Brady Bunch. So just think of Marcia, 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 and you will never forget it again. So yeah, let me think. I was born in Western Pennsylvania in a small town of Butler. Their claim to fame is they had the invention of the Jeep. The first Jeep was made there, and oh gosh, of course there's a chopper coming by. And Bret Michaels from Poison. I grew up there. I had a small family, one sister, one brother, both mom and dad. And I had a son when I was 16. So I'm a young mom. Right now I am 42 years old and he is 25. And he's married now and he lives in Pennsylvania. So yeah, I now live in Alexandria, Virginia with my husband of 20, coming up on 22 years. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I like him a lot. So let me think. I've always drawn and done art pretty much my whole life. There's a lot of kind of artists in my family, so I guess it's like maybe a hereditary thing. I don't know. I pursued art in high school a little bit more than the academics. I did graphic arts and any drawing classes I could, just because I would rather do that than chemistry. And then I ended up going to Pittsburgh Technical Institute for a 2-year program. Well, it was actually a year and a half back then for graphic design. After that, I went to work at Wise Business Forums doing proofreading, which had nothing to do with graphic design. One of those things where they're like, oh, you can move up and get a typesetting. Well, that's not going to happen. So anyway, I worked there for several years. And a couple other random jobs after that. And so between like the time I graduated PTI and about 2005, I didn't do a lot of art. I did a little bit of art, but not like I ended up having a 1-inch button business, buttongirl.net. Or is it .com? I can't remember. It was so long ago. And so I did that for a while, and I did some easy one-stroke paintings for a while. I painted like cookie jars and slates, like house roof slate thingy-mabobbers around 9/11. A lot of people wanted ones with flags on them. So that's what I did for a while. Until about 2005, then I decided that I was going to pursue art. So even though I was still working outside of the home, I started painting gradually, and I kind of like somehow developed a style that it was kind of an accident. So yeah, around 2005, I opened my Etsy shop in 2006. And I can't remember the timeline after that. I worked a couple part-time jobs outside of the house, but then eventually whenever we could afford it, when my husband so graciously allowed me to, and when he made enough money, I quit those jobs and just started to work at home doing this. So I guess that kind of answers, I asked on Instagram if anyone had any questions for me. So that it kind of answers from Lorraine, my friend Lorraine, or Rainy Day Reads. If you like booktubing, you should check out her YouTube. I'll put a link to that below. But she asked, when did you start thinking about becoming a professional artist? Well, I guess I thought about it my whole life, but it was probably around 2005 whenever I was like, yeah, this is the talent that I've been given, so I am going to use it and I'm going to pursue this. So that's that. Another Instagram question, what are some ways to create meaningful or intentional art daily, not just mindless lines? That's hard because sometimes I just want to draw so bad and I'll just sit down and just draw and I'll feel like it's mindless lines. I guess for me, if you want to practice every day, following like a challenge with prompts and stuff is a really great way because it gives you at least ideas and it gives you a goal. And if you get in a group with other people like on Facebook or Instagram, you can post them every day and encourage each other. So, for me personally, it's to get artist friends, whether you know them in real life or not, and, do a challenge and if you miss a day, and here's another thing, don't get too hard on yourself because, we're all human. Sometimes things don't work out. And some days whenever you do your art challenge, it might suck and sometimes it'll be great. So just press on, do a challenge. Okay. And she also asked, what is your motivation and inspiration for creating art? Well, I guess it depends I have a couple different types of art I do. Like my canvas, my acrylic or oil paintings on canvas, they're more of like a surrealist, creepy, cute art. Those come from a lot of like memories or emotions, just things that I piece together that like symbolize different stuff in my life. Once in a while, they don't mean anything. So, don't be surprised if you ever ask me what is the meaning of this. And I'm just like, you know what? I thought it was really funny or I thought it looked cool. But sometimes they do have a deeper meaning. So don't be afraid to ask me about that. But a lot of my watercolors, they're just like my journal pages. It's just that the inspiration for that is just my daily life. I love to journal wherever I travel, and even the mundane things in life, just boring stuff. And I also like to do my backyard critter log, which I haven't had any new critters lately. I got all the common ones last year. But, just painting the beauty of the earth, basically. My friend Ash said that your hair color is symbolic. I don't really know what that means. It's not really symbolic. It's symbolic to the fact that I really like color. It's symbolic that nowadays in my life, I do whatever the heck I want, and I don't care what anyone else thinks because, whenever I was growing up, I wasn't allowed to do some things. And, and then after that, I had, like jobs outside of the house that you are not allowed to have fun hair. So, it's as symbolic as my true freedom, knowing thyself. So yeah, and I really love it. I appreciate so much that I have the freedom to do stuff like that. What kind of things you pursued in your childhood? Likes, dislikes, favorite places, toys, movies? Oh man, that's a lot of stuff. I mean, in my childhood, I like to draw a lot, and I like to make little cozy cabins like behind reclining chairs or under a pine tree or a tree house. And I remember, just feeling like this was my little zone. And sometimes I would draw there and then, or bury treasure. I don't know. I loved My Little Ponies and unicorns. And I love Gem and the Holograms. I've had hairstyles exactly like several Gem and the Hologram dolls, like Kimber. And I've had Pizzazz hair and what's that other one? Clash. Yes, she had the purple hair that was like long on one side. Anyway, I went through dislikes. I went through phases whenever I was a kid where I was super afraid of going over bridges or being upstairs. I felt like they were going to crash, and I would just cry and freak out. The same with thunderstorms. And I feel like I don't really know how long this was, but I remember being very traumatic. But now, I don't know if I guess I grew out of it, because now I'm not afraid of heights at all. And I don't really, I'm kind of afraid of thunderstorms when there's a tornado. But other than that, I'm fine. Oh, and favorite movies, I've always been a sci-fi nerd. Star Wars is my absolute all-time favorite. And I like Star Trek too. And I like cartoons. So I guess that's about it for my video. Thanks for watching. If you have any other questions that have come about because of this, please let me know, because I'm always looking for stuff to talk about during these time lapses. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon.